What are some affordable items, less than $100, that are life-changing? A detachable shower head. Get the water everywhere on yourself from all angles. Wireless would be great. I effing love imagining ridiculous ways to make this work IRL. I'm thinking either a turbine engine that sucks in and dehumidifies air at incredible rates. Just don't point it the wrong way or you might get turned into aerosolized human hamburger puree. A network of water jets in your shower that computer-guided aim at the shower head. The shower head is just a gimbal and limiter that redirects the stream where you want it. LiDAR or CV to avoid the streams from hitting you except through the shower head. Multiple stream sources available for seamless automated switching. The second idea is amazing, not joking. This is the future. You have never had a squeaky clean butthole until you've tried washing with a detachable shower head. Especially if you get one where you can switch to a stream instead of spray. Well, unless you live somewhere where bidets are common, I guess. Bidets aren't common where I'm at, but I have one. Be a leader. My wife loves hers. An electric heating under blanket. It is bliss. I have joint/muscle pain and it's been much better since I started slow cooking myself overnight. An alternative is to go live in an apartment so ridiculously hot you'll want to sleep naked with no blankets on when it's snowing outside. I still have no idea why that place was so effing hot. Do you have downstairs neighbors? Our downstairs neighbors regularly run their heat to the point that we often have our windows open in the dead of winter. It saves us a lot on our heating bill, but it's also really annoying to be so out of control of the temperature of our own apartment. It's warm at the moment in Ontario, but we had a cold snap in early October. That's when I learned my downstairs neighbors will take care of my heating bill for me this winter, I guess. I had to open windows too, and I sweat when I went downstairs to do some laundry. Heated blankets are lifesavers. Our house is over 100 years old and can get drafty. We had a space heater in our bedroom, but the wiring is not great and I noticed the plug was melting, fire hazard. So I bought a heated blanket with adjustable settings for each side of the bed. Seriously amazing product. LTP, if you smell piss but can't find any piss, it could be a small electrical fire somewhere. Or it is actually piss, either way you should find it. A fabric shaver. Refreshes sweaters/coats etc. in no time and saves replacing the garments that are in otherwise good condition. Is this like a lint remover? I swear the ones I've had have been super crappy and all my jumpers end up with those little balls of fabric. Any recommendations for a good one? It's not like the roller/sticky paper lint remover. This is specifically for piling of fabrics, and if you open it up it has actual little blades in there. I don't have a recommendation. I just went with the most reviewed online that was under $20 and so far so good. It made a sweater that I love look so much better. I use a dull disposable razor. It's what a fashion designer/seamstress taught me. Use carefully. Pilling on garments is where loose fibers have come together and tangled. If you cut the ends of those fibers, you now have a lot more loose fibers to tangle. You might not notice or see a difference when wearing after shaving, but the next time you launder the garment, you may end up with a much worse situation. A mini handheld vacuum was one of the best purchases my wife made this year, lol. It's so useful for cleaning the couches, small messes or the car. The one we got was this one from Amazon. It was pretty cheap, so any big brand would probably be better. Web link. If you have pets, it's also worth paying the little extra for the specialized vacuum. I used regular vacuums for years before switching over to one of the pet hair vacuums, and holy crap, it takes like half the time. Edit. For everyone asking for recommendations, I swear by Bissell's Pet Hair Eraser. They've got both upright and handheld models, some more expensive than others, but I have one of each, upright and handheld, and didn't pay over $100 for either of them. They're an absolute godsend. Slow close toilet seats. Pros: quiet, easy. Cons: you'll forget if you go to someone else's house. We have one on our toilet since all 4 of our kids like to slam everything in the house. Anyways, we took a family trip to my mother's, and after using her restroom, my stepfather asked me if his toilet upset me. I'm like? He says, well, you sure slammed that lid. I figured it made you mad. Totally forgot not everyone's toilet lid doesn't ever so slowly and gently close. Send him a soft close toilet lid for Christmas saying sorry. I'm surprised you didn't scare yourself straight after hearing the loud sound you made. I moved recently and the new cabinets aren't as hard to close as in the old place. Spent the first few weeks giving myself a near heart attack in the kitchen. A good, sharp chef's knife will make cooking much easier. Remember to budget for a sharpener too, to keep it sharp. All knives need care. If you are going to spend on nice knives, when it comes to knife sharpening, I highly suggest either really learning how to do it with stones, grinders, or actually having them professionally sharpened every year or so. It makes a world of difference to have truly proper geometry. I don't believe there are any reasonable consumer sharpeners out there. If you're just using cheap knives, a cheap sharpener will get you back to sharper than dull, but I haven't seen many people very happy with just buying a sharpener and sharpening their own knives, especially once they compare them to a correctly sharpened knife. Between uses, stropping should get you back to razor sharp if the original sharpening was done well. So glad I learned how to properly sharpen knives on stones. In my household, we have always had dull knives, and learning to use stones and a strop have all my knives razor sharp. Some knives just need a touch up on the strop to get razor sharp. A shoehorn. So simple and cheap, and instantly turns 5 seconds of the most annoying wriggling and forcing into a 1-second maneuver. I'm amazed they seem to have gone out of style. Also, a fire extinguisher on every level of your house. Now I'm going to keep stamping down when my foot is clearly smashing the back of my shoe, but I have to keep trying because I am holding my blender bottle and yogurt and keys and 3 other things in my hands on my way out of the house. The major benefit is saving the back of the shoe from looking like an accordion. A second monitor. It makes so much of a difference. It doesn't need to be fancy, but being able to look at 2 things at once makes doing work so much easier. And then you start thinking that a 3rd screen would make your life even better. It does and doesn't, lol. More info up at once, but more distraction. Blackout curtains, or just any way to block the light coming through your window. I fall asleep so much faster now that my room is pitch black at night. The downside to them is that it gets really hard to get out of bed in the morning. Every morning without blackout curtains, bleh, I don't want to get out of bed. Every morning with blackout curtains, what year is it? Just cover your windows with tinfoil like a crack den. 100% effective. I actually tried that before buying the blackout curtains. I had 2 problems. It was hard to keep light from coming in through all the seams between the pieces of foil. There was a slight airflow even when the windows were closed, so the foil made a constant quiet crinkling sound. I'm sure I could have made it work if I kept tinkering with it, but it seemed like it would be a big hassle. That and it just looked cheap and messy. A downside to this I found was being too accustomed to it. When I had blackout curtains for a few years, I'd only be able to fall asleep in near pitch darkness, and exacerbated my insomnia if any other little thing was wrong. Traveling? Multi-site camping? Crashing at a friend's or someone's place? All became completely sleepless nights. Naturally, this depends how much light your room gets and how often you might have to sleep anywhere else. Sleep masks work well, unless you're the sort to take them off in your sleep. Edit. After the first 2 sleep mask recommendations, I used eye/sleep masks as a transition period, but found it better to train myself to get used to sleeping with a bit of light. This was a bigger issue in my 20s when I'd often stay at a buddy's place or at a hookup on a whim. I did get better curtains, but actively refrained from blackout curtains for that reason. Timer caps for pill bottles. Basically, the cap is a timer that resets every time you open the bottle. You can get some on Amazon for like $10. I take my ADHD medicine every morning right when I wake up. Some mornings I'll even take it and go back to sleep for 30 minutes until it kicks in and wakes me up. Some mornings, I'd forget that I took it and went back to sleep, and accidentally take a second when I wake up. 100 milligrams of Vyvanse makes for a effing crackhead fever dream of a day. At that level, it actually makes you less productive, so you get nothing done and deal with insane side effects all day. Conversely, some days I'd accidentally go without it because I thought I took it already and get nothing done. The timer cap pill bottle literally totally fixed that problem. It also made me aware that one of my friends stole my ADHD medication. They still won't fess up to it. I wish they would. It was effed up, but I'd forgive them. We're not very close anymore. Oh my god. Thank you for this suggestion. I try to make sure someone is present or that I tell someone when I've taken my allergy meds so that I have someone to ask when I inevitably have to wonder if I took it or not. I still miss some days though out of caution if I'm not sure. I'll definitely look into a timer cap. I use one of those day of the week pill organizers. You can get them at Walmart for like $1 and just look in that day's compartment to see if you've taken it yet. Yeah, maybe I'm old school, but the grandma pill box works, haha. This would be great for people with memory problems. I shared a hospital room with a woman who was in because of an accidental overdose. She took her meds, forgot, took them, forgot, took them, etc. 2 meters charging cable. Braided, not plastic. I second this. I'm not longer restricted to laying on one side of my bed to charge my phone. I fixed this in the worst way possible. Instead of buying a longer cable, I connected my regular charger to an extension cord. Yes, I know I'm a horrible person. Not if you own a cat. Good, high-quality underwear. Not like the 5-pack for $15 at Walmart. Quality underwear from somewhere may not be majorly life-changing, but the day-to-day improvement is amazing. Duluth Trading, Buck Naked. Extra long. Those babies are a blessing. No riding up, no pinch, no bunch. Feels great. Perhaps don't use babies as underwear. Saks was definitely a life changer for me. Yes, they're expensive, but not having things sticking together down there is worth it. A thick, cozy bath towel. Why waste all of that shower goodness just to rub yourself with sandpaper after you get out? Costco has amazing towels. I was visiting my parents' house and their towels were like clouds and they said they were from Costco, so I went and bought a whole new set for myself immediately and they were incredibly affordable. Costco towels are great. I'm in love with a brand called Wove. A little pricey, but I bought one and then bought 4 more after I used it for the first time. I actually like rough towels. And washcloths for that matter. Plush fluffy ones make me feel like it's not cleaning me. Bathrobes, however, big poof. Good socks. I wear darn tough and my feet feel so much better. Edit, as others have mentioned, the warranty is worth it alone. Our unconditional lifetime guarantee is simple. If our socks are not the most comfortable, durable and best fitting socks you have ever owned, return them for another pair. No strings. No conditions. Socks guaranteed for life. Double edit, a friend returned some that he bought on Amazon, wore out incredibly fast. DT told him they were actually counterfeit and gave him a credit to buy some real ones from their store. I used to think expensive socks were the stupidest thing. To me, the only acceptable option was to buy the 30-pack, for $2, from Walmart once every 3 years. A couple years ago I bought a nice pair of socks for a cold weather excursion we were going on. Changed my entire outlook on life. I don't own a single pair of those white socks anymore. I bought a nice set of good work boot socks and I have never looked back. They last a long time and for the money the satisfaction is well worth it. They just feel so much better. None of that bumpy bit over your first or last toe, not overly tight anywhere, but snug everywhere. Very rugged, no holes forming at the toes. That's my biggest thing with cheap socks. I always get afraid people will see the holes at the toes and think I don't trim my toenails or something. I grew up wearing hand-me-downs, and socks and underwear with holes that long lived past their prime. I love having nice socks and underwear to put on. Duluth makes some great comfy and breathable underwear, by the way. A rice cooker. I would love to have an amazing kitchen with expensive equipment, but right now I can't. You can make a ton of stuff you didn't think you could with a rice cooker, either that or a pressure cooker. Edit, Because so many people are commenting, a rice cooker can be used not just for making rice. I've made whole meals using it. Steamed vegetables, made cakes, perfect for oatmeal, etc. Instant pot. Seriously, get one. They are a little expensive, but worth the investment. Even the most basic model is like 7 appliances in one machine. You can make so much stuff with those, including rice. Thank you for watching. If you like our videos, please like them on YouTube and share them with your friends. Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos. We welcome your comments below. Another of our videos will begin shortly.